Hey, it's Melissa with the M Word. If you're new here, I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kiddos. I have an 8-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And today I'm going over the science items that come in the Timberdoodle PreK Kit. So when I ordered our PreK Timberdoodle kit this year for my son, who is 4, I actually used a customized kit because there were a few items that I already had yet for my daughter. So this Berenstain Bears book we've been using since my daughter was in pre-K. And it is a well-loved copy. I've actually done a review of this entirely. I will try to put a link for it somewhere in here, but the front half is the almanac, and the second half is the nature study guide. So what I personally do is I start at the beginning of the year, and I read through what we can read through until I hit a spot where it no longer makes sense to keep reading it based on where we are currently in the month. So I will probably read this page about winter, and then I will stop reading in this section until it hits February 14th, or right around February 14th. And I will then just turn to the back and read part of the nature guide study, which I've also got bookmarked because I've been reading through it all year with my kids already. And I will just read through this once or twice a week because otherwise we will go through it too fast. Timberdoodle specifically says that you'll want to read 5 to 6 new pages a week to complete the book in a year. The very first time I used this, I did 5 or 6 pages right off the beginning and straight through the back. Then I realized that the almanac part didn't quite line up with our year and it was kind of weird. And I prefer lining it up. So I read in the almanac part until I hit a spot where it doesn't make sense in the year. And then I read a few pages back here in the nature study guide. This is a different book than we had for my daughter. Besides that, I would get a new one of these every year anyways, because we work directly out of the book and rip out the pages as we finish them. So my son has gone through, we've been ripping out pages as we go. There are 14 units in here. Timberdoodle suggests doing the unit lesson and then the unit experiment to give you in a 2-week span. So 1 week and then the second week they do the hands-on activity or experiment. That will give you 28 weeks of lessons. We just kind of go until my son doesn't want to that day. Usually I do 1 full lesson in a week is what we do. And I just, when it's done, it's done. I don't worry about the fact that it's not taking the full amount of time. And the last thing is the My Very First Science book. This is actually the same one from my daughter's kit as well. I also have the My Very First Encyclopedia book. So if you happen to have the My Very First Encyclopedia book, you do not need the My Very First Science book. It is in here. So about halfway through the My First Encyclopedia book is the science, and it is word for word. I've gone through and checked. But this is the science book. I had it from my daughter when she was a kid, and then I didn't know when I was at an Osborne party, and I ordered this one. So yes, I do like that these are a harder cardboard pages. Well, this may be a hardcover book. It does have normal pages in it. So if you would rather have the sturdier pages, I would get each individual book like this. If it doesn't matter and you'd rather have less space, I would go for the My Encyclopedia book so you have all the books. Those are the 3 science items that come in the Timberdoodle PreK kits. I did go ahead and get a customized kit since I had 2 of the 3 items already in our home from my daughter, and it did help with cost a lot by saving these items for each kid as they come along. I save the items I can, but I do not save the consumables because it's just easier to give each kid their own book. If you have any questions about the Timberdoodle PreK kit, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will talk to you next time.